So today we're going to be exploring how to create a building using two-point perspective. We're going to start with just little foundations and give you just the basics that you can explore in any way you see possible. Alright, so what you can see is that I've already set up my horizon line and my vanishing points. And in order to do a building, two-point, we want to start with that strong vertical that's going to be the corner of the building. And what we want to remember about buildings is if the horizon line is our eye line, a building both goes above us and below us. So that vertical line is going to need to cross the horizon line. All right. Then, just like before, you need to connect the bottom and the top to the left. You need to connect it to the right. And then you need to decide how big the building is going to be. What I like to do with that is I go back to my original line, slide my ruler straight over and make another vertical that connects those two. Go on the other side and do the same thing. And maybe I'm going to have a slightly longer building to one side or the other. Now, since it crosses the horizon line, we aren't going to see the roof and we aren't going to see underneath. It's not like our floating cubes from before. Now, from here, you can do a lot of decisions. You can say, is my building just going to be a rectangle, or maybe I want to add a different addition? So let's say I'm going to add an addition. I want to be parallel again. I'm going to go above the horizon line, but I'm going to give a line kind of like that, okay? And I want this part to shoot out away from this building. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that bottom part and I'm going to do a line like that. Say right here. And I'm doing the lines bigger than I need them to be. All right, because I can always go back and erase and adjust later. I'm going to connect that to that. And that to that. And then again, if you're getting confused, you can go back in, you can get rid of lines you no longer need because you can't see them. Should have made that go up all the way. Now that's a really extreme, almost like two buildings stuck together type of thing. If you want to make smaller additions, you might say, hey, let's put a door in. Okay, we're keeping everything parallel there. I'm going to start with one edge. I'm not going all the way back because I know it's not going to go all the way back. But then you just say, hey, how wide do I want that door to be? And you draw another vertical line and you have a door. You can draw a second vertical line and now you have double doors. Now, of course, you might say, well, we need, say, doorknobs, or you can then add in the small details of a door frame. All of this, of course, verticals going straight up, all horizontals heading back towards one of the dots. Now, there's an important thing to remember with perspective. Things that are closest to you appear bigger than things that are further away. So let's say I'm putting in a window, a whole set. I'm going to make a mark that lets me know the height of the windows. And I'm going to create a line that can go both sides in case you have a set of windows that completes the entire story. All right, that would be a set of windows. Now, if I just go through now and say, throw in a vertical line, I've created one window. If there's space between the windows, I can put my next window there. But what you want to remember is that as you do this, the windows are going to get smaller and smaller as you go back. Now I'm just freehanding here. If you want to get really wild, you could measure everything out like that. But remember, bigger towards the front, smaller as they go back. So that's the concept of two-point perspective with buildings, is that it's starting with a vertical line, creating these boxes, these rectangles. You can always come back later and say, hey, maybe I want rounded objects. You can still just start with a rectangle. I'm freehanding here, but it started with that rectangle and then I rounded it off. So you can get lots of different shapes and different things going on. All right, so that's how it's done. You just start with those strong vertical lines, shoot back to the vanishing points, and adjust as necessary. Always start with rectangles, but then you can shape and round them as you see fit. Have fun.